So let's talk about the aftermath of Singed hotfix changes and what they've done to affect Singe's overall win rate and place in the game. So patch 7.14 drops. Singed win rate goes from back here, it goes from 47.37%. First day of the patch goes to 54.32%. Second day of patch goes to 54.99%. And then it starts dropping off. This is where they hotfixed him. Right here, 54.99%. Then right here on the 14th, it drops off. 52%, 51.3% on the 15th, 52% on the 16th, 51.91% on the 17th, and today, on the 18th, 51.37%. I want to talk about why his win rate shot up so hard on the first 2 days of the patch, and why I think Riot did the wrong thing. I talked about it in the Champs video, but there's some additional stuff. There's a lot of things that changed in patch 7.14, not just Singe, that I think people aren't really taking into consideration. Things that really influenced a ton of matchups and the way a lot of people play the game. The biggest probably being Bramblevest. I think Bramblevest by itself, you know, people were buying it on Singed as a first or second item versus AD top lanes, the auto attack, and those people weren't expecting like, oh, they're like, what the hell's a Bramblevest? And this, you know, all of a sudden I'm getting damage reflected to me at level 5 instead of like level 16, and I'm getting grievous wounds and I can't sustain forever versus Singed. It's not just that overall Singed effectiveness went up. I think his effectiveness did go up for sure, but I think a lot of that really ridiculously high win rate right about here was the fact that that Bramblevest and Thornmail item is something that Singed is very good. It's very good for Singed to have because he's always had trouble versus, you know, lifesteal auto attackers. And I think it's something that, you know, people were building on him that also made his win rate go up before people learned how to play versus that. Obviously, you know, a lot of this too, these 2 days right here where he had a really high win rate, was people not knowing how to play versus, you know, his new run and his new passes and stuff, and then they hotfixed him. But I think that we would have actually hit a 51% win rate like we have today, even without the hotfix changes, because I think this is actually going to keep going down. I think his win rate's going to keep going down after today. But I think that it would have went down as people learned how to play versus, you know, Bramblevest. I think it would have went down as people learned how to play versus Singe's more updated kit, around his damage, and just around the patch in general. I think as people learned to play the patch, I think Singe's win rate was going to go down regardless. And it was a very rushed change. It was a very reactionary change. For context, what they changed about Singe was they decreased or they increased his ultimate cooldown by 20 seconds level 1, 10 seconds at level 11, and it's the same at level 16. So it's 120 seconds level 1, 110 seconds at level 11, and 100 seconds at level 16. So a lot of things changed on this patch. And a lot of those changes, not just the Singe changes themselves, but the item changes benefited him too. And I think they're going to end up nerfing Bramblevest. Probably they're going to increase the cost of it by a little bit. And all of a sudden, Singe's win rate is going to go down a little bit more because of that. Because most Singe players are getting Bramblevest in their build, or the new Thornmail. And once those get nerfed, then he's going to have to get more items. Or not more items, he's going to have to pay more for those items, or they're going to be less effective, and his win rate's going to go down more. Because I don't think that this win rate decrease is because of, well, obviously, yes, some of it has to be because of his stat buff or stat nerfs, and it has to be because of his ultimate nerf, but I think we would eventually have hit this win rate a few days from now instead of today, as people learn how to play around Singed, which sucks, because I don't think Riot will ever, you know, whenever Singed hits a lower win rate than this, I don't think Riot is ever going to come back and say, oh, well, maybe we should, you know, give him a little bit of a pass over. I don't even think they need to. I think the new Singe is actually, or not new Singe, like updated Singe, I think he's really good. I've been playing the game again. I my main accounts, both of them, they decayed out of Master into Platinum fucking 5. My accounts decayed out of Master. I didn't play for 4 months, and my accounts decayed out of Master into Plat 5. And I've been playing the updated Singed on both of them, off YouTube and off stream for the most part, and I've been having a lot of fun. I've been climbing really hard. I have an account right now that's sitting in D1, so that's really nice. After only being back to the game for a few days, that's kind of crazy. Definitely, I think it definitely contributed a lot to the huge spike in win rate. But you know, stats don't lie. His win rate is going down a lot over time. Not even over time, just over a few days. And this is gonna eventually go. It's gonna taper off and just be stable, because it's just going down, 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 down. Slight spike here for whatever reason, but then it's going down again. So, cool part about that actually is not only is his win rate going down, but his pick rate is going down too. For the most part, his pick rate's going down. Like from here on 712 to here on 717, it was decreasing. So that means that newer players are putting him down because of the hotfixes, and experienced players are still playing him, and you know, they're having less success on him overall, which is fine. He's supposed to be a niche character, not supposed to be meta. But those experienced players are still able to find a decent amount of success. Obviously not a crazy fucking like 55% success rate, but enough to get by. All right, 51%. I'll take it. 51% is better than what he used to be, 47.37%. So 51%, you know, I'll take it. Ban rate went up slightly, but it's going back down. All right, good. Don't ban me out. Definitely don't ban me out. And if you're curious, these stats are for, these are the same stats that Riot uses to balance. These are the same stats that Champion.gg uses. It's Platinum Plus, last 7 days. However, I think I have to take an issue with the whole balancing off of win rate thing that Riot likes to do so much whenever you look at a champion like Pantheon, who's been consistently sitting at a very high win rate, 53% to fucking 50, almost 55% today for a while. Like, why hasn't Pantheon instantly gotten a hotfix announcement today? Because his win rate's at 55 almost 55%. You know, where's my Pantheon hotfix? Like, this is a fucking crazy curve too. It just seems kind of unfair that they would go ahead and nerf Singed instantly for having a 55% win rate, while Pantheon's allowed to sit at this crazy number for such a long time. And not just this patch, patches before this too, Pantheon is sitting at a very high win rate, very high pick rate. Really crappy double standard, because they don't really like it when champions who are not flashy get played and find success, because it makes it boring for people to watch. And fucking LCS, God, I hate LCS so much. It's an interesting one to look at. I think Heimerdinger is pretty interesting to look at. Okay, yeah, Heimer is pretty cool. The first thing I look at when I look at Heimerdinger's page is I see a very low pick rate. His pick rate's actually lower than Singed right now, so we can safely assume that only one-trick ponies, for the most part, are playing Heimerdinger. But his win rate is not that crazy. It goes anywhere from 52% to 51.5%, 52.5 to 51.5. 51, there's a 50% there, or 51% there, a 52 exact there. Yeah, so his win rate's pretty stable, but his pick rate's super low. So does that mean that Heimer is balanced? For the most part, probably. It just feels like he can be very oppressive versus melee champions. Look, he has a 57% win rate versus Singed. He has a 64% win rate versus Kayn, a 58% win rate versus Cassiopeia, 58% win rate versus Alawi, 57 versus Gragas, 57 versus Shen. But he's countered by all these range characters. Yasuo, who can just dive in and out. Cho'Gath, who Heimerdinger can't kill, really. Cho'Gath can also kill his turrets from a distance, I guess. And Gangplank can just farm off of his turrets, so I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope this video kind of points out the fallacy that Riot goes through and the double standard that they have when it comes to balancing champions around certain champions around their win rate, and certain champions around, or not balancing other champions around that very same win rate that they have, when, you know, several champions have been broken for a while and Riot refuses to touch them. because some are more favored than others for whatever reason, just double standards. Holy shit, Thresh is, okay, no, it's actually not that high. Thresh is a 52% win rate right now, and he's been hovering around a little bit over 50 the whole patch. He's super high pick rate though. If you consider Thresh's pick rate, he has like a 36% pick rate almost, and really high ban rate. And having this high of a win rate, Thresh is probably a champion that's a little bit strong right now. Very best Thresh players are on average in Master Elo, and Thresh, according to LoLalytics, is the 8th best character in the game. Very interesting, I think. Very interesting that, you know, a champion is allowed to have Thresh is allowed to appear in more than 1/3 of every game of League of Legends, and still have a win rate that is considerably higher than 50%. Double standard, sure. You know, where's the Thresh changes? They're not coming really. So thanks, Riot, for the double standard. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, and you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, I guess. I hope you did. I just wanted to point out some of the double standards that Riot has when it comes to balancing champions around win rate. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.